Morning to everyone. It is my absolute delight to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, the Secretary Shri M. Shadar Chauriya, Associate Secretary Srimati M. Shantima Lahu, Director Dr. G. K. Francis, our advisors Dr. Ananta Narayanan, Dr. B. Mahavar, Dr. M. Ramashri, our Senior Coordinator Dr. E. Kodandaraman, our Coordinator Dr. J. Israel Prabhakaran, coordinators and faculties of other departments, beloved faculties of other departments and their students to this webinar on job opportunities in travel industry post-pandemic by our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suresh Bedi, for whole of travel industry, which is need of the heart, especially for the budding travel professional like us, and a very informative session by Mr. J. Vivek on tourism and technology, as technology and automation has become the new normal. I would like to call upon Mr. Sri Vikash from 3rd BA Tourism and Travel Management to welcome Mr. Suresh Bedi.
I've been given a mammoth job, and this personality profiles runs pages. I've tried my level best to incorporate all the major achievements of Mr. Suresh Bedi. Mr. Suresh Bedi is a well-accomplished travel personality. He started as a trainee in a GSA for KLM Royal Dutch Airlines and Cathay Pacific. Due to his passion towards KLM Airways, he joined as a consultant in finance department. The risk that he took to join finance from sales rewarded him well. He was observed as a KLM employee within a year and a half. He worked with them for 8 years and then he moved to Travel Management PLC as a business head and worked there for 11 years. He joined Keone Travel Group in 2014 as a senior general manager, where he worked for 2.5 years. He then moved to Infinity Software Solutions for 2.5 years. Currently, he is a vice president, sales for South Region with Mind Your Fleet, which is a part of Chromosomes Software Private Limited. Sir, we are eager to gain more knowledge in the future when the pandemic is behind us. And thank you for your valuable time. With no further delay, I invite the man of the hour, Mr. Suresh Bedi, to take over.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks to the Department of Tourism at A.M. Jain College and the host and the students of A.M. Jain College for giving me this opportunity today. I would appreciate and I would prefer to have been with in your auditorium to feel the pulse of the students, because tourism and travel is all about people and passion. However, because of this pandemic situation, we are forced to be away from human touch. Doesn't matter. That is technology that takes place, and we have seen most of the world is operating on this platform of technology, and everything moves on. We will come back to our normal situation when everything subsides down over the years. Now, I will take you towards a few opportunities and complete guideline of what is happening currently in the industry and what is taken over the industry with the COVID situation. And I'll show you what all opportunities are available for the tourism students. When I started my career as well, I had the same doubts and saying what would happen, what will my opportunity there coming out of college. But the travel industry is the largest industry that can offer you opportunities even during calamity. You must have come across, this is pandemic right now. Earlier there was SARS. We came out of SARS and the industry boomed back by 400 to 500% last time. The same thing is going to happen. People are waiting to come back to the new normal, and they're waiting to travel again. I will present to you the slides. Just give me a minute. Can you see the screen? So can somebody confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. This is where the new stuff is. So, first I'll have to update you on what's the current situation and what the World Health Organization is stating of what is the status as of today. We have seen the first wave, the second wave. Now we are envisaging the third wave is what is in the news. So we have to combat the situation, and that's what is going to happen. And that is why the World Health Organization is saying that countries have to be ready to move backwards or forwards depending on the numbers they are seeing, and the fact that our current situation is very unlikely that we can eradicate the virus. So stating that, we'll have to adjust our positions of how we accommodate and emerge out of this situation from this pandemic status. So as you all see, the whole world is moved towards technology, mainly in education and all other industries. So as travel also taken care and moved towards the technology part of it. I will just take you through a few slides, and I won't bore you because there's something that, I don't want to give you too much of information. But I think technology today is all about the prediction system that is coming into the world, where Google is playing and the social media is playing a lot of, a bigger role in providing information to the end user, the customer. So that if you see, for example, you will know that when you pick up a map and you're traveling between A and B, from say Chennai to Pondicherry or Chennai to Madurai or somewhere,
waiting, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, okay. So the technology is guiding people in that prediction system, saying that this is the traffic movements and this is how you'll have to, adjust your travel and make your arrangements. The second thing is the user experience management. So software is developed to give users the access to create products, to use it user-friendly, and then move on. The third thing is the chatbot. Most of y'all will know what is a chatbot. Chatbot is nothing but how a mindless human being, it interacts with all the individuals across the world and guides you on. How all these are controlled. So all this information that is governed and provided to the end user, the traveler, is through machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but a subset of artificial information, where it gathers a lot information from all that is there through big data and stuff like that, and then provides the information to you, to the end user. That's how it goes on. So these are the technological upgradation that has taken place, and the travel industry has taken complete cognizance of it and utilized it to the fullest potential. So this is where I want to tell you all, through this technology, travel, which was only at 100%, is growing at more than 400 to 500%. Even during pandemic COVID period, you will be shocked. There is leisure travel happening across the country. I have a friend who's taking 300 people to Kashmir and 150 people to Goa. So there's nothing wrong, but all the parameters are taken care, and that's happening. That's where I brought. So technology is enabled to increase the size of the travel transactions. So what will be the new normal? So everybody's talking about the new normal. Yes, we are going to envisage the new normal, which is the mobile. So everybody has a smartphone today, and travel is governed through a smartphone today, because all the aspects of travel are compiled and everything is coming into the travel mobile portal. So all the backend, everything is managed and people are providing. So what will happen? What is the role of a travel fraternity will happen with technology? So you'll have to adapt to the new technology and learn the social media interference, every internet of things, a lot of stuff, and you will create products to the end user, and that's how the travel will happen. Yeah. So let me take you, what is the future of travel? So the future of travel will be first rebuilding the consumer trust and confidence. It's very, very important because today everybody's scared to step out and thinking that, you know, will I be affected? Will I get into this process or will I get impacted? All that has to be taken care of. The sensitivity of the traveler is very, very important to the travel industry. So the first thing will be safety and assurance. Assurance must be the first priority. A negative COVID test result is mandatory whenever you travel between cities or between towns. Today, inter-district travel between Tamil Nadu is also a process. And then a uniform policy across the Indian states adhering to the complete protocol has to be taken care. This is an opportunity to make all tourism more responsible and sustainable. See, earlier you used to see people flocking all around, and there was no standards. Today, everybody is providing you a sanitizer, a mask, all aspects of safety to the end user, be it a restaurant, be it a hotel, be it a bus, be it a train, wherever it is. So that is very, very crucial, and that is a very, very positive growth for the travel industry. Going forward, yes, all the travel companies, be it rail, bus, air, whatever it is, they have to partner with either a software company or a health company to enable the best products that is available to the user, so he is safe and sound. Okay. So the next is, what does the World Travel and Tourism Council say? The future is now going to be adopting safe travel. So the world is moving towards safe travel position. So there are a lot of countries, almost today there are about 100 countries which are identified and given a stamp by the World Travel Council as safe country to travel. Unfortunately, India is very large and they're not yet there, but we are going to be there because it involves a lot of protocols for health and hygiene to be taken care. Because when you travel and if the impact is taken care, one flight can change the whole face. How our pandemic in India started with one flight from Italy coming in. They were searching all over the ASPAC flights, but they missed that the travel from the European part had impacted the major cause of the pandemic in India. So that's very important. So I will take you through that. Just a moment. Vetri, you have a question. Yes, Vetri. Vetri has raised his hand.
Sir, it was an error, sir.
Okay. So if you notice, these are the countries which are identified by the World Travel Council as safe to travel, because the whole World Travel Council will go and evaluate each of the destinations, whether they are adhering to the global standards of protocols, and is it safe for the traveler to come to his country and go back with all norms of every travel aspect, be it hotel, be it restaurant, be it the cab, the auto, everything, because it has to be a 360-degree protocol adherence. That is where is the future that is going to happen. So this is very, very important for us to know. The next is, everybody knows that the vaccine is already in vogue and everybody is taking the vaccine. So currently, earlier it used to be 60 plus. Now it's come to 46 to 60 years. All Indians, citizens from the age of 46 to 60 without any other morbidity can have to take a vaccine in two parts. The first one earlier, and after 28 days, the second vax. Now, for travel, the global scenario is changing now. Earlier, there used to be, I do not know how many of you all know, yellow fever vaccination when you enter Africa. So most of the countries, when they travel through Africa, they had to take an yellow fever certificate. Similarly, this is going to be the new normal, international certificate of vaccination. So you will be registered and your vaccine certification will be there, and the period of that vaccine validation also will be there. So this is going to be the new normal, and this is a very important thing that people have to know. So let me take you to a snapshot coming back to India. Now, my role was to give you an upside of what is the opportunity available in India for the travel and tourism students. Okay. Now, none of you all have to worry. This is just a temporary situation, and this will also change. If you look at what is the status of tourism, which is growing, like I told you, people are waiting to get out of their houses to travel, because for 1.5 years, everybody is stuck and everybody is wanting to get out and travel to some destination, be it domestic also, no problem. But I think Indian domestic tourism is going to bounce back by at least 400% as per my discussion with the industry. But if you look at this information, which is from the IBF, by 2029, the India tourism sector is expected by 6.7% to reach 35 trillion, which is a lot of money. And each of us have a share to join this industry and take part and grow and emerge as the successful travel and tourism expert. Okay. Of course, yes, with the whole new pandemic, every country is taking their steps to do what they have to do, because tourism is a very large industry, and with the kind of diversity that India has, we have to overcome that crisis with a lot of upgradation and opportunities to be created. So if you see, the government of India has taken a lot of steps with campaigns like Swadesh Darshan. They've given steps and subsidies to a lot of travel companies and travel states, where tourism department of each state will get the necessary support from the central government, and each one will enable the safe travel process of the user. So what is travel and tourism all about? So the 4 factors of travel, which is revolving around aviation, train, that's the railway network, the road network, and the tourism destinations that is there. So if you look at Indian aviation today, this is where the statistics is coming from. The Indian aviation market, you will be shocked, even in 2019, we registered the largest spend across the world. The Indian traveler, he has spent more than other countries in the world. So that is where it's expected to reach 9.5 lakh crores. That's $136 billion by 2021. But since the pandemic, it's moving a couple of years later, but it is going to grow. That is what it is. So India's passenger traffic is also growing, like you're seeing, 11.13%. The domestic passenger traffic is growing at 12%. So 12% from what, $274 million. Look at the piece of information that can go. International passenger traffic will grow at a slower pace because of the pandemic. Freight traffic, see, there's opportunity not only in passenger traffic, in freight traffic. So you can go into cargo, logistics. there's so much opportunity in travel involving only aviation and the other modes of transport in the country. So today, if you look at it, we have about 153 commercial airports operating. They're estimating to grow to 200 by 2040, another 20 years. So that is the opportunity lying ahead of you, where you'll have to capture what you have to. Today, we only have 680 aircrafts in the country by the major airlines. I'll showcase that to you. It's going to grow up to about 1100 estimation. So if the traffic boom takes place, you will require all this, because today, you know, with Udan, smaller airports are focused. There are smaller aircrafts traveling to very, very small destinations like Rajahmundry, in the Northeast, very, very small destinations with, you know, smaller jet aircrafts. Okay. So in continuation of that, like I told you, these are the Indian airlines that is operating in India and abroad. Air India has 124 aircrafts. Indigo currently has 252, SpiceJet 121, like that. It's 678. So all of them, today the scenario of airline seats, the load factors are going almost 100%. You will be shocked. Indian air traffic is growing. The flights are going full. So you don't have to worry about the pandemic. Yes, we have to adhere to the social distancing and the protocols of the pandemic, which will be very important. Coming back to the opportunities in the aviation industry, like I said, the Indian population is almost 60% youth population. So that is growing day by day. And when you look at it, the opportunities in the main aviation industry is all not only about flying, it's about maintenance, repair, and overhaul of all those aircrafts. So there is opportunity in the aviation. There is, see, most of the airline processes become online. Like you go to an airport, it's self check-in with a computer. Today, it will move on tomorrow to an eyeball check-in, because in the world, in the Western world, there's iris eyeball checkup, and you put your palm up, you can check in and check out. So you don't have to show your passport. So we are far away from there, but technology is moving in. So there's an opportunity, abundance of opportunity lying there. Like you see the growth that's going to happen in that investment. So while the industry is growing, you will have people coming in from the other parts of the world to come and participate in the profit scenario of the country, because the travel is such a large expenditure process and earning process, earning opportunity for the investors. So you will see investing coming in, and that will grow. So you don't have to worry about it, because in one segment, if you can see, this is the growth that's happening. A lot of people do understand that tourism is all about aviation. Tourism is not about aviation only. Tourism is about all the 4 segments, like I told you: air, road, rail, and destinations. So you'll be shocked. Our Indian road network has enabled to passengers to travel from Kanyakumari to Kashmir on a one single network. If you can see NH44, it travels from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, one old, highway, which is 3,740 kilometers. Like that, we have about 8 of the major ones I've showcased to you. This is an opportunity for you to try and capture, take your passengers on the tours, be it road tours. You can take them on vans, family travel. There's so much of opportunity. So you'll have to understand where there is requirement. Today, family travel wants to happen because they don't want to take the train or the air because of the pandemic. You will have to take cognizance of it and take this opportunity and utilize it. I'll show you how you can do that. The next one is the rail network. Indian Railways is geared up to handle. There is technology coming in Indian Railways. There is facilities. There are coaches with all kind of facilities, which is upgraded to the Western world style. You will see a lot of development happening in this segment. If you know, one major was 10 years ago, IRCTC. Today they have gained. The food is a higher quality than earlier. The ticket booking process is become the cancellation process. That enablement technology, and that you can upgrade. I mean, third thing is your whole coastline. Now, like I told you, India is such a diverse country with a lot of opportunities. A lot of us, I mean, as an industry person, I've not traveled so much of this coastline. And I'm planning to do this complete coastline of India, which is 7,500 kilometers. You can organize 10 top beaches in the country and take your customers, create your packages, create a niche of the business, and try and use the destinations and create an opportunity for yourself as well. Who knows? There is so much of wildlife and bird sanctuaries. In Tamil Nadu itself, you have 5 of them. Create a bird sanctuary tours. There are people who are only traveling for bird sanctuaries across the country. Create it, because we have opportunities there. Wildlife will be there. You will be shocked. There are lovely top 10 rivers in the country. Amazing. Amazing. You must see the Brahmaputra. They built the 2 largest bridges across the Brahmaputra. Is a major thing. A lot of people don't know this. You'll have to create an impact by creating the river tours of India. Yeah, that's an opportunity. Major hill stations. All of us know for summer only we go to hill stations, but there's a lot of opportunity in hill stations. In Tamil Nadu itself, you have about 4 of them across the country. You can create each segment, hill tours, river tours, dam tours. There are people willing to travel in groups, major dams. Okay. So engineering students, you can focus on them. The whole of India is such a fertile, lovely green patch. See the forest area of India. There's an opportunity. You can choose forest tours. They identify and create the packages with that. So there is abundant opportunity. You don't have to worry about those things. So my advice to the young travel students is you have to dream big. Like I showcased to you, there's so much of opportunities. Grasp the technology, partner with some technology person, or learn some technology. Then there's a lot of, you can learn with the YouTube. Very, very simple. And, you can learn a lot of things, combine them and evolve a plan. Like I said, you can have a river tour of the country, a forest tour of the country, a road network, coastline of trip tours of the country. There's so much to do. And the aviation is going to bloom. And till then, if there's an opportunity, take it, execute the plan, and become a travel entrepreneur. Each of you can create, or a group of 10 people can join. Take a look at the opportunity that Oyo. He was nobody. He didn't know about the industry. He created. Today, he's such a great person who's created opportunities for a lot of people. So that is the kind of dream that you'll have to make, and opportunities are available at your fingertips today because technology has enabled it for us. That internet is giving you so much opportunity that you can grasp and take it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Yes, sir. We have questions from few of the students. They'll be joining us.
Yes, please.
Sure, sir.
Good morning, sir. This is Sabrish from 2nd BA TDM.
Hi, Sabrish. Good morning. How are
Good morning,
you?
sir. Do we have any prediction done before or any precautions when a disaster or a pandemic hits travel industry?
Like I told you, we had SARS, right, in Singapore about 7-8 years ago. We managed it because we couldn't travel and it was such a dangerous situation. At least this pandemic is somewhere, lighter than that. SARS, you can't even, breathe. That was so worse. Somebody who entered the airport, in just a fraction of a second, you can, contract that virus, and it was life-threatening. We came out of it. Today, Singapore is the most opted destination in the world. They combated it and came up. It's a very small country, but they came out of it. So there is calamities which have happened, has taken place. We have come out of it. So this is one more calamity that is coming, and we are taking it at stages. Thanks to the health department in the country, and the government has taken huge steps to combat this, because India is far, far better than any country in the world today.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your work, sir.
Thank you, Sabrish. Thank you very much.
Sir, this is Naveen, sir.
Hi, Naveen. Good morning.
Sir, I want to ask a question about what are the skills to be developed for an entrepreneur in tourism, sir?
Like I told you, first of all, you'll have to have the passion. As an entrepreneur, you'll have to plan, evolve a plan. A plan is to identify the opportunity that you want to make it. So, for example, like I said, now if you want to take groups on the coastline travel, beaches. I mean, we all of us love beaches, right? So we have the longest beach in the country, Marina. But there are lovely beaches you will be shocked to go. I mean, if you go across, the YouTube, there's abundance of information. You can pick it up, go to those destinations, identify a few 10 destinations, go there, experience the opportunities, experience the features, and document it and create your plan and say, this is my tour itinerary, this is where you will stay, this is how you will travel, this is how what food you will eat, this is the culture at that place. So these are the stuff that you will have to enumerate and document it and create an itinerary and offer to the customer. There are people only traveling for food. There is food tours. You can use that, right? Of course, yes. As an entrepreneur, you'll have to. Everybody thinks, saying, no, I don't have money. No, you don't have to do that. See, to create things, start small, think big, and evolve. You will achieve that. I hope I answered you, Naveen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Naveen. Wish all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Akash from 1st MA TTM.
Hi, Akash. Good morning. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. I have a question. There's a huge downfall in my travel. Is there any way to revive it?
Like I told you a few minutes ago, yes, the strength of MICE travel has fallen, I'm no doubt. But what's happening is the corporates do not want to endanger their employees by going on a trips like that. So if you ask me, MICE is not happening, but leisure is happening. So there are two different things, right? MICE is something evolving out of a corporate or evolving out of a necessity of a distributor, group movements, incentives, conference, all that is minimized because they don't want to have the corporates and their distributors endangering their lives because of this. But leisure is happening. Leisure is about public, right? Like I told you, there are groups traveling to Kashmir, Srinagar, Gulmarg. There are groups traveling 300, 400 traveling to Goa. Today, Goa is full. 5 or 6 months ago, they were calling me and asking me, sir, can you sell this rooms? Can you sell this rooms? Today, it's not that. If I call up for a room, he's saying, sir, sorry, sir, room is 18,000 rupees. A normal room, which was 6,000, today is being charged 18,000. That is the opportunity. So the leisure is happening. MICE per se, yes, it will take some time because there is some responsibility with the corporates that they'll have to adhere to the protocols and keep their complete shareholder, right? So the distributor is a shareholder, the employee is an asset. All of them have to be safe, right, for the future. So that is where. So it will take some time. For me, this vaccine is moving on as at a pace. So MICE should come back maybe in another 6-7 months. Is that okay, Naveen? Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Naveen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was such a wonderful session. You have inspired us so much. Hope to have you with us again soon, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Morning to one and all here. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Mr. Vivek for the second session of the day. Mr. Vivek is a growing travel professional who has 7 years of experience in the travel industry. Being an alumnus of Pondicherry University Department of Tourism Studies, he has started his career with Infinity Travel Solution as management trainee. He was moved to Key Accounts Management Department where he served for 3 years and was promoted to Client Manager, Southern Region. He joined the implementation team of Yatra Online Private Limited in 2020. During his student phase at Loyola College, he has been the student union leader for consecutive 2 years. He was the winner of Hackathon for product development on artificial intelligence. And he was also awarded the best fresher and the best team player in Infinity Advent 2016 and 2017, respectively. It is my honor to invite Mr. Vivek to share his knowledge and experience with us. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I hope everybody can hear me clear, right?
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Great. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you so much, student coordinator, for giving me a beautiful introduction about myself, which I doesn't need to give my introduction about myself. So I'll straight away get into this topic. Suresh Bheti sir has detailed everything about the technology. All the points which I've been prepared to present it for Suresh Bheti sir has already been covered now. Right, so I'll take you to straight away get into the presentation, and I'll showcase what I presented. Suresh Bheti sir, if you can stop sharing the screen, I'll try to present. Hope everybody can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So my topic is about technology and tourism. So this two different terminologies, the two different aspects of the industry. Technology is nowhere related to tourism, and tourism is nowhere related to technology. If you see 15, 20 years before, but now it is not the case. Without the technology, there is no tourism. As Suresh Prethi sir told, tourism and technologies are interrelated, interbound industry as of now. Let's see. But this principle is more predominantly two in the tourism and technology. Tesla cars, steam engines, full-fledged cruise, from steamboats, from steam engine to megalith trains. The transformation is like phenomenal and not even imaginable. Same thing with the technology also. Day before yesterday is C++, and yesterday is Java, today is PHP, tomorrow is MSQL, and it goes on. With respect to technology, what trend today is not the same tomorrow. This change principle is applicable mostly with these two industries, because it's like changing every another minute, which happens in both the industries. Why technology? And what is technology? Technology, in a simple term, it's an application of scientific knowledge for a practical purpose. It's all to put together this technology. And why technology in tourism? Technology in tourism mainly because it reduced the cost and it reduced the cost and reduce the expensive labor in the industry. It automates everything about where the manual intervention is needed. So, sorry, give me a moment. Right. So I'm sorry, we'll get back to this presentation. So reducing cost is what the major aspects of this technology is all about. So how we reduce the cost. Reducing cost is all about reducing the expense of human labor, because for doing a task with an artificial intelligence which is required, you need at least minimum 5 to 6 people working in the situation today. But with the help of technology, you need only 1 or 2 replace with the artificial intelligence in the computer which we have it today. And the technology helps you save time and save costs and increase the profit. And also this improves the importance of services because it will reduce the error mechanism, and it will give you the customer satisfaction level to the highest standing. And also, technology also helps us to speed the operation, because with present condition, user wants the service instantly, because when they comes to the desk, they already with a lot of information. If you're going to take again much of time providing the same information again, that's all. That's the end of the customer. So they need a speed operation, and the technology is known for its transparency. In good olden days, where for booking a ticket or anything, your 100% reliability is on the travel agency or a travel operator. But now it's 100% transparency, where you can see what is what. Even the new concept of, not a new concept, it's a concept of GST and concept of taxation has really opened the forum into a transparency, saying what is the other side and what you have it in the other side, right? And it increased the profit margin and of the company, and also increase the revenue of the company to a greater extent. As I told you, that automatically results in the customer satisfaction and avoids the manual issues with the customer. And it's all about automation. Technology is all about automation. Let's see what are the trending technologies, what we have it in this industry, which is really taking us a greater standing. Yes, one of my favorite topic, it is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is an improving of all time, making it more reliable and more attractive as a business solution. In particular to travel industry, it is taking an advantage of AI in order to perform a variety of administration customer service tasks with the present condition. This concept we have been discussing for quite a long time. AI concept is almost there in the industry for 12 years now, almost more than 12 years now. It is nothing but it refers to a computer or a machine performing task that would normally require a human intelligence to carry out. Artificial intelligence has become an advanced with the present advanced and reliable enough to carry out a major task which is required a lot of human interventions. And with the advanced computers like what we have it today, like quantum computers, what we're discussing about quantum computers and hi-fi computers, without this artificial intelligence, we'll not be able to move even to the next stage. In the modern age, it is accepted fact that business will collect a lot of vast quantities of data. It is the present condition is all about big data analysis. As Sureshpati sir was also saying, this world, the modern world, is all about data world. The movement from one place to another place is not just a movement; it's about a lot of data. That data, which helps the computer to analyze and gives you the better solution about what you want, what you will be preference, what you expect it to be. So all those information with the help of AI, the data processing and data analysis and giving you the problem solution skill, which requires a lot of human task needed in case we do it manually. But this system, this computer, this technology helps you to get this in a click or in a second, in a fraction of moment. And there are a lot, AI has been used in the travel industry in a lot of many ways, like chatbots, and also even the face-to-face recognition companies, and even to data processing analysis, like chatbot. What we see today in any of the sites which we log in, the Yatra, you log in any of the sites, there is already a chatbot which is there on the right-hand side corner, where you can, even that will raise you a question saying, this is what you're even landed for. If you say no, it will give you another set of questions, whether if this is what you landed for. If you say yes, or instantly give you the response. The capacity of artificial intelligence to perform tasks that have traditionally required human cognitive function to make especially useful for the travel industry. AI can save business time and money, which potentially eliminates human errors and perform quickly at a time and every day. It can also use to improve the personalization and tailored recommendation and guarantee fast response time, even in the absence of staff. Tourism industry is all about personalization and even the personal touch with the students. With the help of this AI, example, any customer which is coming to your travel agency or to your desk for any requisition, this technology will it gives you about what is he about and what is his expectation, everything, and it will give you the customized custom itinerary according to your expectations. And chatbots, as I told you, it is the new concept of the travel era now. Everybody is relied on the chatbots and gives you the instant responses, instant replies to what your questions is. And data processing, a tourism industry is not limited to customer service alone. In fact, one of the most popular and effective use of is gathering and interpreting data in order to conclusive about customer business practice and strategies. So let me go for the next thing. So part is virtual reality. This is in the recent times really taking the world to a greater storm. It's mostly the virtual reality is by the product. It's like a VR headset, and it's mostly driven to the gaming industry. The travel industry is also increasingly realizing exploring the technology of potential, especially in the market as a marketing tool. This is typically involves a VR headset, which helps to immerse ourselves into a digital environment through use of image, sound, and other physical sensation. User essentially put himself in the case of the particular locations. VR headset can also allows the markets to go beyond the practicing basic images, allowing users to actually experience the product about what they're used for. With respect to our industry, the tourism industry, we don't sell products, we sell experiences. Same, we purchase experience, we don't purchase product. For example, when we go to a hotel and purchase a room nights, it's not about we're purchasing the hotel, it's about we're going to purchase the experience, what we are going to be having there. So with the help of this technology, a user can expect what He can see the room availability and room ambience, about how it will look like, what are the amenities which is available in the hotel, what is the purview of the hotel, with the help of this, he'll be able to know what is he exactly expect in this particular location. For example, if like 360-degree views of any destinations like Taj Mahal, Tanjore, or anything, you go to online and just type 360. I'm sorry.
Problem இருக்கு. But அந்த வெளியில போனா clear பேசுறாங்க. But ஆனா இதேதான் வருது. ஒன்னும்
Hello. May I proceed?
Sir, you can continue.
Can I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are in the middle of virtual reality. How the headset will work. About it mostly helps as the tourism, marketing product to the travel industry. It gives the technology, but for a good reason, purchase experience rather than the product. So it gives the user, the end user, the taste about what they can expect exactly in the location or the hotel.
வீடியோ வரல மோன், சுத்தம் வீடியோவும் வரல, ஆடியோவும் விட்டு வருது. நெட்வொர்க் ப்ராப்ளம் தான் மோன். அவரு இந்த எப்பவுமே இந்த செமினார் ஹால் ஓபன் பண்ணுவாரு பாருங்க, ஒரு பையன், அவர் ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு உட்கார்ந்து இருக்காராம் இவ்வளவு நேரம்.
Am I in mute? Hello?
Sir, you can please continue, sir. Not an issue. Yes. There's been a network problem. You can please continue.
Is it from my side or the other side?
Our side only, sir. Not an issue. You can please continue.
Great. I'm sorry. So I'll proceed further. So what are the methodologies which the travel industry has been using the VR? So as I was mentioning, hoteliers are taking a tour with the virtual tours to the hotel. It gives you the ambience about the hotel, how it will look like, the circumferences of the hotel, and actual availability of the hotel. Even one step beyond, their virtual booking interfaces are also available in a lot of destinations. In Japan, there are a lot of hotels which gives you the virtual booking interface also for booking the hotel. For example, instead of canceling traditional methodology of using laptops, mouse, and keyboards, it's gone to a different era where virtual headsets or virtual walls are interactive. Even the interactive walls are there in a few hotels in California, that you can walk to the wall and you can talk to the wall, and wall will respond to you back with the information which you required on. Even and also another mode which VR has been helping, actual tour experience. There are few travel agencies which helps you to see the destination from the room. For example, now we're sitting in an office, putting in VR headset, and I can feel like I'm sitting in a Bay of Bengal or any destination, Paris, seeing an Eiffel Tower. Virtual tour experience is one of the most trending technologies, upcoming technology, which is happening now. And Next, it's one of another most interesting topics, the Internet on Things. Internet on Things is most important, powerful emerging technology and trend which is current in the recent year. Technology includes absolutely everything that is connected to the Internet in terms of more typically used to refer everyday physical device, appliances and other things that you have been fitted in Internet and sending and receiving data. Mostly everybody is connected to the Internet with current date, and all are this decentralized and centralized towards the network. The phone which we have it in hand is not only the phone, it is about the connection device to the entire world. So if you see, just 10-15 years before, it is highly decentralized. It's highly decentralized. If you wanted to book a ticket, air ticket, the dependency about it, the ticket can book only through a centralized GDS system, and nobody else will know how to book it and how to issue the ticket. It is all centrally decentralized to a centralized system. But now with the current system, with the current trend, every information, every other industry, hotel, airlines, shoppings, any industry is connected to the server, and that server is connected to the internet, and that internet is connected to our devices, which is in hand today, like laptop, mobile, tablets, anything for that name. And in future, not a future, which is already in place in open IoT networks, which is all interconnected. There is in future, there is no concept of cloud. It's going to be, it's only like an open network. Each and everybody is interconnected with the softwares which we have it now. So for example, if I wanted to book a ticket, it doesn't need to depend on the cloud server. I can straight away go to the irrespective airline site, and I can straight away take the tickets. That's what it is already in place now. And this IoT help us to have personal controls over the personal information within the hotels, flights, and primarily provides enabling the customer to control more applications and service through a centralized device. And also helps you to the seamless travel in airports. Even it helps you to track your luggages, track your baggages through an alert from smartphones, and even a smart saving energy system through an IoT. Most of the hotels now, it's like into the centralized control devices through an IoT based on the sensor availability. If you're there in the hotel, automatically it adjusts to your room temperature, and also you can control the entire room by using a centralized device. And also location, we are using the Google Assistant, Siri, or even smart homes, which we are moving towards. Smartphones and smart speakers and with an AI assistants have all help to increase the relevance of voice search as far as technology is concerned. Travel customers are using voice search to find books, airline tickets, hotel rooms, and travel experience. This is therefore crucial to design your website with the voice search, because if you see any application which is in current trend and today, it is already with the voice search and voice recognition. You don't even need to type what you required on. You just have to say to the system, say I wanted to travel to Bombay and so date. It gives you the option. If you say that I wanted to book, it books you the option. You doesn't need to even involve your physical, use your fingers to to book a ticket. That is the current trend, which has actually been trending in the industry now. And now we're also moving towards the smart homes, where you just have to no need to go and switch off the fan, which has already been auto connected to the the Bluetooth, and it recognizes your voice and it auto switch off. Now we are in that era. And the next is like more interesting, and robotics. Japan is the first country to introduce a manless hotel, with the staffed hotel, Hanan Hotel, I believe. It's an Hanan Hotel. It's about fully robot self-suffered hotels. This technology, are the most exciting form of the travel technology. It's constantly improving. With hotels, for example, robots have been used to welcome roles, or even greeting the guest, and provide information about what they wanted in the check-in counters. Instead of waiting for putting a labor for 24 hours, it gives you the artificial robot, which gives you all the information about the hotel, or check-in detail, check-out detail, cancellation policy, or availability of the hotels, and availability service of the hotel. Every information, even like laundry services, cleaning luggages, and even in the airports, we see a security robot. If you see the right-hand side corner, that robot has been recently used in our Stanley Hospital for vaccinating COVID patients, which is very recently happened. In the left-hand side corner, we have a robotic suitcase, which doesn't need to carry your suitcase. It follows you by censoring your movements. We don't need to carry, it follows you by censoring our movements in airports or any other situations. Another trending thing which is happening is like contactless payment. This contactless payment is what everybody has been used to do with Google Pays and Phone Pays and ePays and everything. With the present condition, with COVID situation, people are afraid about handling cash, and this technology is really helping the travel industry in getting the cash quickly. Ability of accepting the contactless payment This allows the travel company to process payment at much quicker and much faster, which helps the company, the travel agency, to improve the customer satisfaction and also not to fall in the cost efficiency. The availability of the contact payments has started as a convenient, but has emerged as a key part of the travel marketing way in this pandemic, as I said. So we'll go to the next one. That is all about cybersecurity. Everybody talks about cybersecurity today. It is because the data privacy and data leakage, data insecurity is what we talk about. Cybersecurity is a major focus area for those in travel management roles, because the industry is increasingly at the risk of cybersecurity. Because any movement, we talked about contactless payment, the payment through online. We talked about big data analysis, data movement from one place to another, because a lot of information carries through internet. We spoke about Internet and things. Every information about you is already there in the internet. But where is it secure? Is it safe? Is it valuable to share that information to this situation? Whether it's a vulnerable device which anybody can hack. This technology is getting to a next level where all companies are into a PCI standards, like an ISO standard. We have a technological standard for PCI standards, and softwares have been checked on a daily, weekly basis. Vulnerability tests, which has been conducted by all the technology companies. And they also have a concept called blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is nothing but any information which is being any of your contactless payments. That information is stored in the public ledger. Anybody is open to the public ledger. It's open in the public, and saving that system into a blockchain technology is what it's all about. It's the list of public record, which is transaction between parties and parties. That is known as blocks that can be encrypted by only via cryptographic technology, which is there in the technology platform. And that also helps you in tracking luggages, as you said, identification services, and service like traceable payments and customer loyalty scheme, and much it goes on. And next, what we can see is about recognition technology. Everybody is moving towards this recognition technology. As Suresh Petty was saying, we are moving ahead just to have to wear the palm, and it will recognize your palm on this thing, and it will get auto check into hotels. And everybody has a phone with the face recognition technology. And technology is especially interested with a list of key tech trends due to this potential and removing friction from purchase and from marketing interaction seamless. Technology itself includes a fingerprint recognition, facial recognition, or retina recognitions, or even both biometric and other kind of recognition. These technologies are already being used in some of the hotels, and also used to fingerprints, and also used to semi-contactless checkouts. And however, in future, the future is going to be the recognition technology. There's nobody is going to assist you with your room cards or room informations. This is going to be the future of the hotel industry with the facial recognition technology. And the last, what we see is about gadgets. In good olden days, we packed things, all necessary things like medical kit or first aid kit. But now, when we're planning to a trip, there is a separate device in the baggage, separate set of location in a baggage spare. We need a minimum of GPS devices, selfie sticks, camera, power banks. There is a separate division in the baggage where we required only for a technological device in terms of travel. And irrespective of the technology, what we see, a technology device which is invincible from the traveler's journey. Technology is definitely an entangle itself in every atom of the travel industry, from very first point of browsing the destination, from the booking the information or booking a vacation. It became a technology is indispensable part of a travel journey. With the sourcing number, with the technology and innovation in the trends, we can only expect the trend and technology to increase exponentially. And I think I covered majority of the points. I think I'll open this floor for discussion. Any questions or any clarifications required?
Yes, sir, there are a few questions which will be following now.
Right. So what I'll do, I'll stop presenting the screen because only then I think I'll be able to share the screen. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's fine. And it was a wonderful session, sir. Thank you for your given a lot of information.
Good morning, sir. This is Pavitra from 2nd MATTM. Sir, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, good morning, Pavitra.
This is Pavitra, sir, from 2nd MATTM.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, is that technology taking away the jobs of any tourism professionals?
No, it is not taking away the job. It is making the process easier and efficient. Maybe where we need a lot of humans to do a particular task, but this technology helping in using your time efficiently. It's not taking away the job. It is making us use the time efficiently.
Thank you, sir.
I'm from an arts background, totally with no technology there in my entire graduation, but still I'm a technical person now. So it's not taking away a job; it is actually providing more jobs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Vikas from 3rd year.
Hi, Vikas.
What is the role of MIS in tourism industry?
Exactly. As is so said, it's artificial intelligence about data analysis and data processing. MIS is all about data and data, but understanding the buyer behavior and coming to a conclusion where it goes. It's with respect to the travel industry, data will only give you about where are we stand and where are we going to be, and that helps you to design your strategy accordingly.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Yeah. As I always say, technology is like a knife. Technology is like a sharp knife. If you give it to a doctor, you'll save life. If you give it to a wrong intended person, obviously it's going to misuse. So how we're going to use technology is all about it. What going to result to us?
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Akash from 1st MATTM.
Good morning, Akash.
Yeah. Sir, what are the technical skills that has to be acquired by budding travel professionals like us? Do you recommend any particular courses?
I would strongly recommend to have a project management skill. That would most sufficient, because we going and learning a machine language, it's not going to help us because we are an art student. As I said, I'm also basically an art student where I have no intensity or no background about the computers this itself. The only thing which I related to computer is only gaming part. And now I'm a technical person, not by learning, not by anything, just by an experience. But as a freshers, when you wanted to start your career in a technology aspect in tourism, I would recommend to have a project-oriented project management courses, because that gives you about how to handle data, because handling data is all about technology. So that give you an idea about handling a big data and big data analysis. That would more sufficient to handle technology and tourism opportunities in technology.
Thank you, sir. And I have one more question.
Please.
If you are doing we are doing an MBA, what would be the specialization we should choose, sir?
So you're asking me what MBA you wanted to do, or
what kind of MBA we can pursue in the future?
So we're already in the travel background. So when you pursue an MBA, I think it preferably choose your mainstream. That's what it should help you. MBA in tourism is very much available in Central University and other universities. MBA in general is it's my opinion. I'm giving MBA in general, MBA in finance, MBA in HR. There are a lot of students just studying. If you see BCom, there are almost like 6 lakhs plus graduates is coming every year. But BA tourism, there are only a handsome amount of people. So I would also recommend, if you wanted to do a MBA, do something unique. Or even we have an MBA in IT, information technology, or else MBA in data processing, data analysis, MBA in criminology. There are a lot of MBAs which is unique and also which is related to travel industry.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. We'll have a detailed session because when you only ask questions, we'll be able to understand a lot. Anything?
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Sir, do you suggest any AI courses related to this, sir?
If that is actually AI is what the future is going to be. Artificial technology is what the future is going to be. Not only in tech tourism, irrespective of any industry you take any industry, from food industry to a cosmetic and FMCGs to a technology company, AI is what is going to be everywhere. Without the help of AI, there is no movement is going to be. If you wanted to pursue your career only in technology, it's good to have a backup of at least a standby in AI platform. AI courses. If we cannot get into the AI platform, at least we can have some information about data processing. That will also help you to a greater extent.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
I have one more question.
Please.
So if they start booking from portals, how will students get jobs? What's the future of ticketing?
Can you please repeat that, if you don't mind?
If everyone start booking from the online portals, like ClearTrip, etc., how will the students get job?
Exactly. Even the same question I was having. Sorry?
What is the future of ticket?
Exactly. This was the same question even I had almost like 7 years before. When it's going to be a technology, who's going to actually issue the ticket? But after getting into the industry, I understand it is a combination of both. Technology itself will not do it like movies and like Predators and Terminators. Technology will not act on its own. Only when you operate it, it will act. And technology, as always, a technology will not react on its own and always have a glitches in the even if you upgrade the system to a higher extent, always will have a glitches. To at least to solve that and to address that, we need humans to be in place. And also with respect to a ticketing part, with the current situation, what I'm seeing in my company, you raise the ticket, it's the GDS, it's the API, automation process index, fetch the informations about flights which is flying from point A to point B, and everything get automated. No manual intervention needed in getting those informations. But when you go for an actual booking, that seems to be automated to an end user, but at the back end, you need somebody who have an IATA degree, or you need who knows about the ticketing part, who actually has to issue the ticket and facilitate the ticket and provide services to the end agent. So it is about combination of technology and ticketing to be there to issue any tickets. It's going to be there.
Thank you, sir.
Great.
Thank you, sir. It was such an informative session. We need more updates from you in the future relating to travel and technology. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. As all the good things come to an end, with the hope for better future, we have reached the end this wonderful webinar. I extend my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest for making this webinar informative and life-changing for our students. And I thank the Secretary Shri M. Shardar Chaudhary, Associate Secretary Srimati M. Shantimul Nahar, Director Dr. G.K. Francis, our advisors Dr. Ananthanarayanan, Dr. B. Mahavir, Dr. M. Ramashri, our Senior Coordinator Dr. E. Kodandaraman, our Coordinator Dr. J. Isabel Prabhakaran, our sincere thanks to Chief Manager Mrs. Sangeeta Rajappa and IT team for their continuous support, coordinators and faculties of our other departments, beloved faculties of our department and dear students for making event a grand success. Thank you one and all.
Thank you all for joining, and thanks for giving an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Wish all of you all a great year and a great future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, with this, we can end this session. Thank you very much.
Dion.